O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our All-Stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Yo!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. Ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
It's the Big O Show.
girls. Yes, sir. Ready to rock and roll on a beautiful Friday, January 9th, 2026. It is day number 18,985 since the Dolphins were world champions, and is day number 8,768 since the Canes were national champions. And we've got about 10 days and a chance to reset that clock. Woo! Great day, great Friday. I mean, are you kidding me? McDaniel gets fired. Got a new GM. We'll get into that. We got so much to unpack there. And the Canes come up with a win last night to advance to the national championship, which is going to be played right here in their backyard, in their stadium at Hard Rock Stadium. I mean, it does not get better than this, okay? So it's a beautiful thing, man. And, you know, with the Dolphins, we got a lot to unpack, a lot of things to talk about with the Dolphins. But first of all, I got to congratulate the Canes because the accomplishment to get to where they're at. And yesterday, you know, as I said in the postgame show, we sat there and frustrated throughout the game because they played a bad game. They dominated in the stats and everything, but then they had all the penalties. They dropped all 4 interceptions on 3 separate drives. It was a mess. The only reason it was a game because the Canes were beating themselves. That's it. They dominated Ole Miss. And then they found a way to win, which in the end, when we're now, you know, when hindsight can take over, when you can, you know, look at things after everything and everything is settled, you're like, holy shit, wait a minute. They just played a bad game and beat a really good team in a semifinal playoff game. They are back. Because normally if you play a bad game like that, you lose. You don't win when you do those kind of things. And so we got to give them a lot of love that they went and played a bad game and somehow or another figured it out. It's impressive. So just absolutely awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. And congratulations to Mario. Congratulations to the administration. Congratulations to the coaching staff and those players. Because for many years, a lot of the kids that would put on that they were entitled. And they never earned the right to be like real Canes. They never earned it on the field. They never won anything. And this was going on for 20 years, 22, 23 years, whatever it is. It's been going on for a while. And Mario now has finally put together a group that is willing to do the sacrifices that it takes in order to win. And yesterday is really the best proof that there is out there. You played a really terrible game, and you found a way to win a game. That is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And so, I mean, think about this. The Canes are 18 of 33 on third down in the last 2 games against Ohio State and Ole Miss. 18 of 33, 7 of 14 against Ohio State, 11 of 19 against Ole Miss. You're going to play like that on money downs, you're going to end up in places, man. Just absolutely awesome. Can't say enough about Malachi Toney. Can't say enough about Carson Beck, by the way. He was fantastic at the end of that game and that final drive and took care of the football and then ran it in there. Didn't force anything. It was just awesome, dude. It was just awesome. It was good. And like we talked about last night, this was a failed season. It's a failed season. And then what saved us was the committee that actually did the right thing and picked the Canes, which I never thought they would. I'm still shocked that they picked the Canes. I'm still shocked, dude. Notre Dame and Alabama, and one of them went out and we got in. Like, what? What? Really? Okay. I'm not used to this. Okay. All right. It was a failed season. We were going to be pissed off at the end of the year because with that talent, there was no way you should have not won the ACC championship and the league, and you should have run the table. And getting into the playoffs allowed Canes and Canes fans to kind of overcome that and make it an incredible. Once you won Texas A&M, that's it. It was a successful season at that point. They were playing with house money. The second you beat Ohio State is what I told you guys. Once you beat Ohio State, you can win the national championship because Ohio State is the best team that was in the playoffs. Their talent is even better than Miami's, but Miami is the better team right now because that's how they've played. But Ohio State is freaking loaded, dude. It's ridiculous how loaded they are. And so you got to give them the coaching staff, the players. They went out and beat a better team in Ohio State. Now, look where they're at, man. Now they're sitting here tonight waiting for Indiana and Oregon to play their game. It's just, this is what we've been waiting for. And for those of us that are Canes and Dolphins fans, we've been waiting for something, for one of them to break through the glass ceiling. And it's nice to see that it's the Canes, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm happy for a lot of you out there. I'm happy for the really young Canes fans that haven't enjoyed, great football. And hopefully they can complete this thing and get the national title. Don't forget, folks, you can hit that like bell, that like button right there, please. Got only 51 likes. There's over 200 people watching right now. Por favor, hit that like button. You can also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. Most of the time we're on at 10 a.m., but sometimes like today, we were on late last night. I'm tired, dude. So we pushed it to 11. And, like when we're at Canesville, it'll be 11. When we're some places, we're at 12. When we're at Hialeah Park, it's at 2. The notification bell will tell you exactly when we come on. And, of course, you can also make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. All right. So the Miami Dolphins hire John Eric Sullivan as their general manager. He is the VP in Green Bay, and it's a good hire, okay? I mean, they actually had a good list overall. But remember what I was going to tell you yesterday on the show, that the headline was they're down to two candidates. And who are the guys I told you? Josh Williams and John Eric Sullivan. The San Diego guy was never the Chargers guy was never getting the job, Alexander, because they're not getting Harbaugh. And Champ Kelly, really? Because they're really honest over there in that building, So Champ Kelly, please, dude, please. Give me a break. You know what I'm saying? So they were down to 2. So you're wondering, how did we get here? And let me tell you something. I'm gonna commend them on this because they started off like the regular goofballs that they are, okay? Because this is plan A. As you saw, they got 3 executives from San Francisco. And as I told you, Josh Williams, who was all the insiders out there, it was down to Josh and Eric. They really love both, but they went with Eric, which is fine, which makes all the sense in the world. The Josh one was going to be if they kept Mike McDaniel. That's the human Jenga thing. So let's get to it. So at first, the old man and company, they went, okay, so they got their 7 candidates, 3 of them from San Francisco, because there's a reason why the dumbass head coach got up there in the press conference and says, yeah, I'm staying. That's because they tell him he's staying. And then when he says, no, yeah, I'm assisting in the GM search. That's because they tell him he's assisting in the GM search. So, you know what I mean? This whole thing, this whole bullshit, the other bullshit that the national Look, man, they have to repeat whatever the teams tell them, and they have to lay on those swords. Okay? But you're going to tell me that all of a sudden the old man had a meeting with Mike McDaniel just recently and said, yeah, no, I'm not convinced with the direction. I got bullshit, dude. You had that meeting before. That's why you told him he was staying. Who are we kidding here? Dude, I'm so sick of the lies and the, all that kind of stuff. And you can't really question it because they're all going to stay up and hide. But I know a lot of this bullshit that goes on. So here we go. So you want to do all of this, right? And you fail. You realize during your interviews, okay, this had to have happened. During the interviews, when you asked them about Mike McDaniel, you did not get good reviews. So all of a sudden you sat back after some of the interviews and you question yourselves and you go, maybe this plan with Mike McDaniel is not, well, wait a minute, what? Harbaugh got fired? I mean, what? Wait a minute, hold on. We got to pivot here. They tell, Harbaugh had nothing to do. Bro, he's in love with the Harbaughs. What do you mean it had nothing to do with it? Oh, they haven't contacted the Harbaughs. Do you believe that? The guy that went in the middle of the night to go see Jim Harbaugh? The guy that went on a boat somewhere to go find Brady and Sean Payton? You think that through back channels they have not asked John Harbaugh and his agent? Or, I'm sorry, wait a minute. It's an assistant of Tom Garfinkel or somebody else that called an assistant of the agent of John Harbaugh. They didn't call John Harbaugh. No, of course not. But some underling called another underling. Hey, what do you know? We're interested, yada, yada, yada. We're not. This is our list. I'm sorry. We really appreciate it. We really respect Mr. Ross. What did I tell you a couple days ago? That Jim and John probably had a little conversation, said, let him down lightly. It would be irresponsible. You're going to tell me that Stephen Ross didn't put in a call to Harbaugh. You're going to tell me that. And you're going to believe that. I get it. You got to report that because you're tied to the league. And that's all you get, all your sources from the league, so you get to break all the stories. So when they give you one that's kind of iffy, you got to lie on the sword, baby. It would be irresponsible, stupid, ignorant, ridiculous that you didn't contact John Harbaugh and his agent or whatever. Of course they did, and they got shot down. So all of a sudden, plan A, Jenga ain't working. Plan B, remember, the guy from the Chargers didn't do the first round of interviews. So how do you advance to the second? You advance to the second after you've had a first interview. Lies, yeah. They're going to get you. It's always horse shit that comes out of those places. A lot of these teams, there's politics being played. So plan A, human Jenga, 3 GMs from San Fran, keep McDaniel, all that. It dies. Harbaugh, fired. It dies. And then you got plan B, plan C, John Erickson. Now, are you going to publicly say, well, we thought about keeping McDaniel, but that wasn't a good idea. We went after Harbaugh, but we failed, and now we're going to go over with John Erickson. No, you can't do that. So publicly, you can't let it get out that you failed with Harbaugh and that your plan A of human Jenga wasn't going to work. And so then all of a sudden, you end up with John Eric Sullivan. But I want to tell you something. You ended up with a damn good candidate. And you ended up with a fresh start. You end up with a coach with a GM that could hire his own coach now. Oh, and by the way, I think somebody said last week that he had a plan that he would get Mike McCarthy to get you through the storm of the 2 seasons of salary cap because he's a good coach. I'm not saying he's a great coach, but he's a good coach. And since you have 2 years of cap hell, and now you got a GM that knows his shit, hopefully, on the personnel side, you got a lot of picks. I think somebody said hire Mike McCarthy, get you through the storm. If McCarthy proves he's even better than that, you keep him. If not, you get through the 2 cap years of storm, and in that 3rd year, you go and find your up-and-coming coach because you have loaded the team up. I think somebody said that last week. I'm not exactly sure. Do you know anybody? You know anybody? They just hired the Green Bay guy, and maybe they go with my idea. I don't know. I don't know. But if you want to unpack what happened, this is what ended up happening. But in the end, I got to say something. They ended up in a good place because I could not deal with I was in a bad place with Mike McDaniel. And you were bringing him back next year. I was going to be in a very angry place for the entire year for the Miami Dolphins. Now I feel rejuvenated. Now I feel better because I feel like you've hired a guy that now is going to go get his own coach, and then at least there's some synergy here, and we're not playing the stupid human Jenga. And maybe, dude, Josh Williams has a very good resume. He might be good, but Mike McDaniel was going to get Josh Williams fired. I'm sorry, did somebody tell the people in the Dolphins that they were going to get fired, that Mike McDaniel did somebody tell you guys over the last couple of years that Mike McDaniel will get the people in the front office fired? I wonder who was that. I'm sorry. Who was that? Anyway, so, we're in a good place. Much better place than with Mike McDaniel. And, I think the goofballs are out of the mix now. I think that John Eric Sullivan is going to be given the power that he needs in order to run. So will it work? I don't know. I really don't. Do I want it to work? Hell yeah. But I know this. If you went with the status quo and you brought back Mike D, you were done, dude. You were done. Mike McDaniel is not a head coach. And he's not a guy that's going to create the kind of culture you need in order to win. He is a position coach at best. He's not even a coordinator. So I am extremely happy with the Miami Dolphins right now. It was kind of a rocky thing, the way they went about it. Plan A, Plan B that just came out of nowhere, by the way, because the Harbaugh thing kind of threw them completely. Whoa, we got fired? Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Before we make that phone call, I already had a coach in place last time. Let me fire this guy, and then we'll make the call. They fire the guy, they make the call. It's not going to work. Not going to work. But no, hey, it's all right. You guys think that, Stephen Ross has all this money and all that. No, it's just not a good situation. Dolphins don't have a quarterback. Dolphins have cap issues for 2 years. You need to kind of navigate through the tough water. He's 63 years old. This place didn't make sense for John Harbaugh. Kyle Lowry in the house. So just didn't make sense for Harbaugh. And it sucks because I really wanted kind of a football czar here to take over. But I'm glad that at least somebody is here, and I'm glad that McDaniel is out, and we are all in a much better place. Okay? Canes win. They're in the national championship game. We fired Mike McDaniel. There's at least a fresh start. I love it, man. Don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation also, and send in your questions, comments, insults. And we are here at Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Come on out. They've got the customer appreciation sales event going on. The 2026 Integra, $239 a month, 2.9% financing. The ADX, $239 a month, 1.9% financing for 60 months. The RDX, $369 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. And the TLX, $389 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. Tell them that Big O sent you. I can see the lot is loaded and overflowing. They've got certified pre-owned vehicles and a wide selection. You hate to go to those dealerships where, oh, I'm looking for this model. Okay, we got these 3 cars. Now, how about these 15, 20, 30, 40 cars? That's how you give the customer an option to look at models. You know what I mean? So come on out here. They'll take care of you. Larry Schlossberg is absolutely amazing here at Craig's Inns. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Oh, Kyle Lowry. There you go. Little waste management right there, baby. That dump truck. That's Kyle Lowry.
Looked like he was taking a victory lap there. A little slow today. Usually they fly by.
Yeah, well, he's gained a little weight, Kyle. So, yeah, it's been rough for good old Kyle. Brian Radke, thank you, sir. Appreciate your generosity on Cash App. He says, thanks for the amazing content. Happy Friday. I appreciate you. We're in a good place, man. We're in a good place. We are definitely in a good place. And it's cool to see that Miami has made that change. The Canes made that change. They made that jump. And one day, Stephen Harris is right. We have double victory cigar today. First of all, let's give the Miami Hurricanes, Sean Stanley, a victory cigar for their win against Ole Miss. All right, and let's give the Miami Dolphins and Stephen Ross a victory cigar for firing that bum, Mike McDaniel. And let me give Stephen Ross a little credit because he had plan A, which was a terrible plan. Then plan B was a fantastic plan, but couldn't execute it. Don't hold it against him. In 16 years, he's never hired an elite GM and an elite head coach, ever hired. So he wasn't going to do this now. So it is what it is. But plan C was pretty good. Plan C was better than plan A because plan C does not include Mike McDaniel. Again, I don't want to throw any shade on Josh Williams. He actually has a very good resume. The person I spoke to in San Francisco effing loves him. Okay. He said that he could get the job done. And I told him not with Mike McDaniel, and he laughed. So it's just, it is what it is. I'm sorry. It just crazy, but what are you going to do? But yeah, I gotta give Stephen Ross some credit on this one. Plan C worked. So give him a victory cigar for getting John Eric Sullivan. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. True Fin Fan. I think that's the first one that came in. Will my Mario 2025 since year one come through? Is that the first one? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, True Fin Fan, will my Mario 2025 since year one come through? Well, it looks like it's coming through, bro. It looks good. It looks good. I like our chances. Once they beat Ohio State, I told you guys, I like our chances to win the national title. Ohio State's the best team. So if you can beat Ohio State, you can beat anybody that's left. I'm looking forward to the game tonight to see what happens, man. Either way, the storylines are going to be awesome. I'm going to be happy if Mario can go up against Oregon and beat Oregon. right? Because the people in Oregon kind of shit on him on the way out. So it'll be good for him to get that kind of revenge. And obviously he takes his alma mater to the national championship, which, we might even catch Mario Cristobal cry a little bit. The big tough guy that drinks a gallon of Cuban coffee, he might shed a tear.
No, he won't. No,
you don't think so?
Not on the field. You have to know.
It's
He
the
was
first
about to
one.
body slam the Verbo lady last night because they wanted the dignitaries on the stage and he wanted the players.
I know. Yeah, no, that's right. But I'm saying it's that first championship.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
You know?
The coach goes up to hug him when they score, and it's just it doesn't hit him until later
Because the job's not done yet.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Though
But
I
once
don't
the
think
job is
I
done.
don't know, man. I don't.
You
I don't
think he's just on the recruiting trail the second he picks up the?
I just think,
we won. All right, I'm
Yeah.
off.
No, I think it's going to be. Look, every speech, every interview he's done has been very poignant to recruits if they're watching.
Oh yeah.
He's just always on the. That's why I don't think you're going to see him do that. Like I know he will probably,
God,
but he's
he's
going to
gotta.
wait till he's out of there, and he'll show it with the players, the ones
The
that
wife shows up on the field for a
Oh,
hug and all. He's got to get emotional for a moment, bro. There's got to be a tear there or something, because that's a lot of work to come through and a lot of pressure, and to bust through all that shit. Man, I don't know.
I heard somebody like the wife is out there collecting the confetti from the games,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. In Mario's business,
Well, it's emotional for
and
her
I know
too.
he's got another game to go.
She's gone through the same hell, dude.
Yeah, and again,
The good wives go through the same hell as their husbands.
Maybe this last game, maybe he does, but I don't see it in the field of play to where he's selling himself as the brand of the U that he sheds a tear. I don't know. Maybe some Cuban coffee comes out of the cafecito comes out of the
Oh, now that could happen. I like that.
I don't know if it's going to be tears.
It's coming through, True Fin, and thank you, sir. What's give me the first one from Ty in the Bronx. What do we got here? Let's see, Big O. The Death Star finally complete, Big O. Yes. They exploded the Death Star. Luke got the final shot in, and it exploded, and now we've got a fresh new one that we can start with. And then Ty in the Bronx. Oh, I see there though, but that was after True Fin Fan. You said before, so you confused me. All right, here we go. Yes. Can we give a victory cigar for Frankie, my boy? Why are we giving Frankie a victory cigar? No, he's not cheering for the Canes. Right. Yeah, he's not cheering. We're not giving Frankie any victory cigars.
You saw where his starting quarterback went, where Lagway went?
If his Gators win, I would give it to him, just for the hell of it. No, we wouldn't? Okay.
I wouldn't hit the button on that one.
The Sleepy Ape. He says 2.5 years ago, Miami beat Denver by 50. Now, 2.5 years later, the Broncos are the AFC #1 seed and the Dolphins are rebuilding. Okay, thanks. Dolphins have been rebuilding for decades, dude. They've never gotten over the hump of rebuilding, Sleepy Ape. That's the problem. That's our major problem, my brother. They've been in a permanent rebuild forever. Anyway, we'll be joined now by David Furones any second now, and we'll talk a little Miami Dolphins. We'll get his thoughts on John Eric Sullivan joining the Miami Dolphins, and I like it, man. I like it. Peter German, thank you for the love on Venmo. I can't say this plan will work, but at least I have hope. This last season left me ready to take a 2-year hiatus and not look back. It's a new year, Canes in championship game, and Dolphins have some hope. I agree. I mean, I would have watched anyways. I'm not going to take it off. I would have just been a very angry person next year because I know what was coming. It was like, see, the worst part is it's what I told you guys last week and why I wanted like a guy like McCarthy. I want a good influence around the young players that you have now, which McCarthy could be. And then you've got a boatload of draft picks over the next 2 years. So it's good to have the guy from Green Bay now take over the draft. Fresh eyes, better eyes. Hopefully he'll redo the whole draft room and everything. And then on top of all of that, you get a guy that can draft and a responsible coach that can develop. You start to develop a nice little core. And to me, that's what's like I told you guys last week. You guys can look at this like it's going to be hell, and it would have been with Mike McDaniel and this whole Jenga shit and all that. Or you can actually look at it as a positive. You actually have picked up some really good players in the last 2 years. They're young. You got a nice core that you can build on. You got a bunch of picks over the next 2 years. If you get the right GM, which I think they got now, and you get a responsible coach, you can actually put together a nice roster over the next 2 more years that 3 years from now, you should be ready to be really, really competitive. That's if you do it right. But if you go the Mike McDaniel way, you are going to ruin the whole foundation of everything. This way, we got a chance. And that's what I explained last week, that if you take a long approach to it, you can actually look at the Dolphins situation as a positive. If you try to force a short-term approach to it, thinking that you can turn it around in a year or two, you're probably going to get disappointed because you don't have the money, the flexibility, and you only have draft picks. And it's really hard, and you don't have the quarterback. It's really hard with that combination. So 3 years from now, you get the draft picks, you have an opportunity to maybe find that quarterback, build the lines up, and then all of a sudden you're in a much better place. Oh, man. All right. What else? Oh, he's there? All right, good. Let's talk a little Dolphins with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Right, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. How you feeling, baby? Feeling good?
Well, one, I'm feeling good because these guys over here last night had an incredible victory. Well, I mean, a lot to fix, but still, thrilling to get back into a national championship game in college football. What a run this Kings team has had. And then
you know what I liked about that game last night? We all sat there frustrated that it was only a game because the Hurricanes dropped 4 interceptions, created all kinds of stupid penalties. And they made it a game with that because they dominated the stats, time of possession, everything. They should have kicked their ass and won by 10, maybe 14 points. And then when the game's over and you let hindsight set in, you now go, holy shit, they just won a game at the highest level by playing shitty.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good. Okay, because when you can win by playing shitty, you're good. Okay, and that's another, because the Ohio State game was a domination, was perfection. The Texas A&M game was a tight contest that you had to use mental and physical toughness to stay on your edge and make very little to no mistakes, and you won. So they were different environments. And this one was a completely different environment. You were discombobulated at times. You made all kinds of mistakes. You let them constantly in the game, and then you found a way to win at the end. And to me, that's a sign of a great team, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you always say just about any team like that's trying to make a run, if they could just get past their clunkers, like you just survive some of the games, like even the 0-1 Hurricanes had that game in Boston College that was coming down to the end, and then Ed Reed takes the ball from Matt Walters on the return and takes back the touchdown. But I mean, Boston College had UM almost on the ropes there with that drive. Where any team you're just hoping to survive, like Ken Dorsey had 4 interceptions in that game. You're just hoping to survive those games. This is not like against any old team. This is an Ole Miss team that is in the college football playoff semifinal. say what you want about that. They don't have Lane Kiffin on the sideline, and he's not coaching them. That team, with a lot of its current coaching staff, I know some of them departed between the game against Georgia and this one, but they beat Georgia too just a week earlier. So it's not like it's just some run-of-the-mill team that just got lucky to be there. Like, that's a good football team with a good quarterback that had looking suspect at times, and if they just come up with these interceptions, that he would have had multiple turnovers in this game. So, yeah, I mean, to be able to survive a game like that, then I was saying after the game in a tweet that I almost low-key like it that they got through with such a game with so many errors and miscues.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it.
I think now they have so much ammo for Cristobal to go coach up his guys before the title game and fix all these things and get back to how they played against Ohio State, which is probably what it'll take, again, as an underdog. Now, they were the favorites against Ole Miss, but same way as against A&M and against Ohio State, there will be underdogs again against either Indiana or
Like I told you, bro, these 3 wins were completely 3 different wins. Completely.
Yeah.
Team won a really tough, close, on-the-road contest at Texas A&M, low scoring, and then in the Ohio State game, you actually dominated that game, and then this one was a tight contest where you screwed up a whole bunch of times, and then you found ways to win. 3 different games, 3 different Canes teams, all wins in every single scenario. To me, that is a very tested team, put it that way. That's what I would look at. But here's the other thing that I was talking with Manny about. This was a failed season. It was a failed season. You didn't get to the ACC championship game. You didn't win the ACC. You were failed. And then all of a sudden, the committee saves your ass. They put you in, which you deserved it. I get it. Still shocked that you went over Notre Dame and Alabama. I don't understand that one, but I'm still by myself on that one. I'm sitting by myself, as they say, with that one. Like, what the hell is going on here? But it's just one of those things. You overcome all of that kind of stuff. To me, you make this season now incredibly successful once you take Texas A&M and where you're at now. Like, everything changed, dude, because if you don't get in the playoffs and they vote your ass out, it's like a sour season completely. You know what I mean? So this was really cool that one decision changed the direction of everything that went on for the Canes this season.
Yeah, you'd be in the Pop-Tarts Bowl again with probably a lot of players already moving on. Some opting out of the bowl game, some going ahead and preparing for the draft. Like, Ruben Bain and Francis Mauigoa, they might have had their last moment as Hurricanes on the field at Pittsburgh in late November, as opposed to these 3 games that we have seen. I think you always felt this team, if you just got them in, they would have a chance to go on this run. You just knew it because you knew they weren't really the team that lost that Louisville game and SMU game. And credit to the committee and good that the CFP has expanded to this level where, all right, because Ohio State won it last year as a 2-win or as a 2-loss team that was the 8th seed. Miami as a 10 seed getting into the title game this year. It shows that in this NIL era, there's a lot of parity where it's not just like that 1 and 2, and maybe that 3 and 4 can sneak in and win a title. Like, college football is deeper now as far as teams that are viable contenders.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right, let's get to the Dolphins. Your initial thoughts on the hiring of John Eric Sullivan.
Yeah, it shows a few things. For one, truly that the Dolphins were prioritizing getting this GM hire, bringing in the right guy, doing that first, and really separating it from the coaching search. Because if it was all about a John Harbaugh pursuit, then like I think I already see in your title here for today's show, that they might have leaned the way of Chad Alexander and said, all right, now we have a guy who has a connection to John Harbaugh. So they made these things independent of each other. They went with the guy they wanted. They've been prioritizing a scouting background, which John Eric Sullivan does have. He has a long-standing tenure with a winning organization, a historical winner in the Packers. going back to teams that had Brett Favre on them and made some runs deeper in his career, to all the Aaron Rodgers years, and then being in this more elevated role later on as a VP of player personnel. Now in recent years, as they've maintained a level with Jordan Love and a number of other roster moves that have proven to keep this team afloat and contending consistently. So comes from a winning culture. I saw Diana Rossini report that Troy Aikman was one of his biggest proponents. So you see the outside influence of not just the Dolphins brass and Dolphins core going ahead and doing their own thing, and then just having Troy Aikman to say they brought in someone from the outside. I think you saw some true influence from the person they brought in to do exactly that, bring another set of eyes to truly evaluate the whole situation.
You're not believing the bullshit that they never contacted Harbaugh, right?
See, I feel like there's probably like ways that you talk around something like that, right? Like,
exactly.
Okay, yeah, you're not contacting Harbaugh, but
you contacted Harbaugh.
Back channel to someone who knows somebody get word to you like, he'd be interested. So I feel like there's probably something there. I mean, Stephen Ross has too good of a relationship with the Harbaughs for anyone to just believe there's absolutely nothing that they are excommunicated from each other.
By the way, isn't it an organization that cheats and lies? I'm sorry.
There's a history there. I'm not going to go that far as like.
I get it. I get it. You're on the beat, so you worry about them. All that.
Not that. I'm not going to call something out that I don't know.
I'm sorry. What were they doing in the middle of the night going after Jim Harbaugh? Was that not cheating and lying?
You're saying that Jim Harbaugh when they had Tony Sparano?
That's cheating and lying.
Yeah,
right?
No, I agree with you on that one. I'm just saying I wouldn't call this one.
So if you're going after Sean Payton and Brady, you're cheating and lying also.
Yeah, they did it
correct?
there. Yes.
Okay, so it's an organization that cheats and lies. So since they cheat and lie, they're lying about not contacting Harbaugh, is what I'm trying to tell you. Correct? I mean,
yeah. I'm just saying I would.
One day I'm going to drop a lie that is going to kind of freak a lot of you out. Okay, I know they cheat and lie, and I got a lie that is, stuff you all wrote about, and you all wrote about a lie.
Tell us right now, Big O.
Can't do it. Can't do it. Gotta wait. There's a time and a place for everything.
Don't tease us like that.
Well, bro, I teased everybody for a while until Omar found out. I told everybody that Flo didn't want Tua, and I knew he wanted Love. And to credit to Omar, I told all of the beat writers that were on with me in those days. I had like 5 of them on with me every week, and I told each one of them Flo was running roughshod through the building. That was my line. And on top of all that, he hated Tua. He didn't want Tua. He wanted another quarterback. And I knew he wanted Jordan Love. And so I told all of them. And none of them figured it out until Omar figured it out like months later that it was Jordan Love. It was towards the end of the year. So I think it was closer to when Flo was getting fired, and then some of the leaks were starting to come out a little bit more. So this is an organization that lies and cheats. Now, in football, probably all of them do that at one point or another. They're all lying and cheating.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, when you tell me you haven't contacted Harbaugh, you have no credibility, is my point. I'm not going to believe you. By the way, if Alexander gets to the second round of interviews without a first round interview, what do you say about that? Does that not, as the late great Mad Dog would say, I put it to my nosey and it don't smell so rosy, okay? Because you can't get to a second level of interviews if you didn't pass the first. But you only passed the first because it was bait. So, this is, for me, this is how this whole thing went. They got their 7 candidates. They were going to do the human Jenga. They were going to go with McDaniel and one of the San Fran guys, and it was going to be Josh Williams. I'm guaranteeing you it was going to be Josh Williams.
Right. He's the one that advanced, yeah.
He's the one that it was only 2 guys. It was Chad and him. nobody was going to hire Champ. And the guy for Harbaugh was not coming because he's going wherever Harbaugh goes. So we were down to two. The headline on my show yesterday was the Dolphins are down to 2 candidates. Okay, because I know that they were down to 2 candidates. The other 2 are just a farce. So we look at all of this. You have Chad there when he didn't even do the first interview, so he's going in second. You think that through back channels, this guy who loves the Harbaughs and everything didn't go and ask, and then they found out, yeah, no. And during the interviews with these executives, when they asked him about Mike McDaniel, I don't believe they got a rosy review from everybody. And that made the old man think. And then all of a sudden, Harbaugh got fired. And he goes, oh, shit, let me fire this guy so I can go reach out to Harbaugh because I can't do it again where I had somebody in place when I went to go look for the first Harbaugh. So they go and fire him. They go to find out nothing. You're not going to get it. He's not interested because it doesn't make sense to come here at 63 with cap problems and all that. So now they go, okay, well, the human Jenga thing is out. We're firing McDaniel, so the 3 guys, but we do like Josh, so we'll put him up with Eric and those 2 guys, and we'll see which one we like the best. And we went with Eric. And there you go. And so to me, this was plan C, but you can't talk about it publicly. You can't say, hey, well, we were going to do the human Jenga because we really like Mike. I mean, if Mike is telling you in a press conference, I'm staying. If Mike is telling you in the press conference, I'm helping out with the GM search, that comes from above. So, that was their plan A. Plan A, scratched. Harbaugh, plan B, fire McDaniel. Oh, that didn't work. Here's plan C. And by the way, after all this discombobulation, they actually ended up in a pretty good place because they got a GM who will hire his own head coach. So I think that that's a good thing overall. But don't bullshit me, bro. I know what you were trying to do, and it was kind of a little, discombobulated, but you ended up in a good place. You started off in the normal place that you were going to do dysfunction with the human Jenga, and then the whole Harbaugh, and then now this. Your thoughts on my theory?
On all of that, yeah, because my mind went to like 3 different things that I want to say at different points. Let me see if I can collect them all and express it. So one, yeah, I like the structure of going GM first. Now you have that going, yeah. So I mean, you got to say positive here. Also, I did want to say, so I guess they did finally get a person in the building who wanted Jordan Love over Tua Tagovailoa just 6 years later, right? So, I mean, he comes from the Packers. They drafted Jordan Love. So now you finally go and pivot on that one. Just 6 years later, now you hope that he gets the next quarterback decision correct. You mentioned Mike McDaniel on Monday saying, that he's feeling like he's coming back. Although let's also look at the quote exactly where he was saying, until I'm told otherwise. I'm coaching until I'm told otherwise. My
brother,
Which
he's going to say that
he wasn't positive.
No, dude.
He wasn't 100%.
He's going to say I'm the coach until told in week 10, in the offseason, during the draft. That's a company line. He says, I'm the guy until I'm told.
No, but that indicates like, okay.
By the way, John Harbaugh said the same thing in Baltimore before he got fired.
Yeah, because it's possibly imminent. It's possibly going to happen pretty soon. So I think Mike McDaniel knew at that point, okay, like I guess the lean is that they want me back, but this thing might still be up in the air. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say was
no. You're right brother, the lean is I'm helping out in the GM search. I'm assisting. That's
but I think people took that to mean more than what he meant. Like he's not
not sitting in.
Like there was a power 6.
It's not a sitting in thing, but he is assisting opinions and information and all those kind of things. If he says he was assisting, he was assisting. He never said I'm sitting in the interview room. That was then taken by the media and ran with it that way. Right. But he said he was assisting. So somebody above him told him, you are assisting. Okay.
Which could mean anything. Could mean like, they asked him about these 49ers candidates because he has previously worked with all three of those guys, and he said good things about all of them.
I don't think you've been lied to enough in this business, bro. I really don't. You give them
I'm just saying
the benefit of the doubt, bro. Too much.
I'm saying I understand that people manipulate the truth or lie by omission, like say something that isn't a lie, but it's like they're not telling you the whole truth. Yeah, I mean, I think like that kind of stuff is going on, like probably with this narrative, like to get back to what you mentioned about how Stephen Ross reportedly, I forget who reported this, but reportedly had a meeting with Mike McDaniel on Tuesday that then left him thinking or revisiting the idea of having him back. I struggle to believe that he's been in the building for 4 years, and then Stephen Ross is about to keep him. But then what could Mike McDaniel possibly say?
Nothing.
In one meeting.
That's a load of shit.
Change his mind.
That's a load of shit they gave Pelissero and these guys because they're league arms and they have to repeat whatever the club tells them. That doesn't mean I have to believe your lie, dude, because you had to have that conversation a few days before when you kept him over Black Monday, when you told him he would help you guys in the GM search, when you went and brought 3 candidates from San Francisco. Can you be any more deliberate on what you wanted to do? Out of your 6, because Champ Kelly does not count. 60% of your candidates were from San Francisco. We know exactly.
Well, it was 8 total, 7 outside.
Okay, so 3 of the 4 were San Fran. Bro, that tells me everything what your first agenda was from the get-go. Keep McDaniel and pair him with one of his guys. But we have to have a backup plan. And that was the backup plan. And then the Harbaugh stuff came up, so they knew, okay, let's go get that guy just in case. And then they went and got Sullivan from Green Bay. So kudos to them.
Alexander. Yeah, that leads you to believe that.
Yeah, kudos to them that they had a backup plan to a backup plan at least. And they ended up in a much better place. But, bro, it's so obvious what they were trying to do from the get. They were still going to do the human Jenga shit. And I told everybody it was going to be Josh Williams. And it was Josh Williams all the way to the end. Except once they got rid of McDaniel, it was like, well, no, let's go with the fresh start. Because it would look odd that you fire McDaniel and not hire Josh Williams. But I wonder, did Josh Williams give good reviews of Mike McDaniel? I just wonder.
No, I mean, I think Josh Williams, I mean, Josh Williams would have kind of an outdated sense, like the Dolphins within the building would have a much stronger sense of what McDaniel is right now after 4 years of having him as a head coach than if you ask, what was Josh Williams, what do you think of Mike McDaniel? He's going to
from an outside. But you want to know. No. You want from an outsider's point of view of what you've seen of him as a head coach for 4 years.
Oh yeah, right.
That's what I'm sure. So I'm sure either Sullivan, Williams, any of the other guys, some of those people gave him bad reviews because something happened to the old man as Harbaugh got fired, and then he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, I got to pivot here." And then he used that bullshit excuse. Well, I met with McDaniel. And by the way, aren't the reports that McDaniel was completely shocked by the firing? And
that too. And he had told a lot of people close to him he believes he's back and everything. So,
of course you're back, bro. When you're assisting for the GM search and they bring 3 GMs to candidates from San Fran, you're staying, bro. But again, they had other things that happened along the way. And to their credit, they pivoted. I got to give them credit. They pivoted at least, and they pivoted to the right area. Now, last week, I said, you're not getting Harbaugh, you're not, all this other shit that we've been talking about for days now and all that kind of crap. But the one thing I did say is the Dolphins situation is a positive situation if you take a long-term approach. If you take a short-term approach, like some of our desperate fans, look at Denver. Like everything that, like what happened with Sean Payton in Denver happens all the time. And it's like, that's, Tom Brady's also a 6th rounder. You know, there are outliers to everything. Don't make an outlier the norm. So the next 2 years, you're going to have cap problems. You're not going to have the same kind of flexibility. So Harbaugh is not going to come to something like this. But this is what I said. And this is not knowing that Sullivan was going to get hired. I said the guy that I would hire, I would do what we did with Kevin Lockery, that he took the heat for the first few years. And then when they were a playoff-ready team, you went and got Pat Riley and you took the next step. Renee Latchman carried you the first few years, and then you went and got Jim Leland when you were ready to really compete. I would hire Mike McCarthy because I'm not telling you he's a great coach, but he's a good coach. He's a good influence around people and players and your organization. You just hired a Green Bay guy. So I would hire Mike McCarthy to guide me through these tough years of the cap issue. And in my 3rd year, if Mike McCarthy proves that he can maximize it even better than what you expect, you keep him long term. But over these 2 years that you have a whole bunch of extra picks, as you know, I would make sure now you have a Green Bay guy, a completely different set of eyes. He'll redo the scouting department. Hopefully you hit on those picks, plus the 2 that you've had the last 2 years, you've hit on some guys. You can build a nice core that 3 years from now, you could be ready to really compete for a playoff and stuff. But you get that guy then at that point, not now. But if you need a guy to kind of navigate you through these rough waters, I would hire Mike McCarthy. Your thoughts? And I said this last week, by the way. This is not hindsight. Go ahead.
Wait, but sorry, you would hire McCarthy now or then? When you're ready to compete?
Then, last week, and now.
But I'm saying, like, you're saying now for the rebuild.
My plan was never. I gave everybody Josh Williams because that's what was coming from there. That's the story. I said last week, the way they are in a transition period right now with the cap, I need a coach that can kind of guide me through these rough waters. I would hire Mike McCarthy to get me through these rough waters because I'm not going to be really competitive, like I can. I'm missing $50 million of cap space every year. You know, it's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? So I would hire Mike McCarthy for the next, couple of years, and then I would find my guy after that. That's what I would do. And plus, if you find a quarterback, I'm sorry, what does Mike McCarthy do? Oh, I'm sorry, he works with quarterbacks. Yes. Okay. So if you draft a young quarterback this year or next year, I have a responsible person that I can have around that quarterback until I get my next coach. But right now, through this tough, rough waters that we're going to have, I would hire a guy like Mike McCarthy. Your thoughts on that?
I don't know. For navigating you through a rebuild, I would see it more so as the job of like a first-time head coach, not someone who has had the Packers job, who has had the Dallas Cowboys job, who has been on contending teams that have made deep playoff runs. Like I don't see that as. In fact, he won the Super Bowl when Aaron Rodgers was there with the Packers, right? He was the coach for that one. So. Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a Super Bowl, previously Super Bowl winning coach, even if he's had some recent failures in Dallas and whatnot.
No, he didn't. He wasn't. I don't. Do you really consider his run in Dallas a failure? Considering, I thought he did all right. Considering Jerry and the atmosphere, I don't think he did a bad job overall.
Yeah, no, I mean, just didn't lead to playoff success, but he was a fine coach.
I'm sorry. Is that a McCarthy problem or is that a Cowboy problem?
Yeah, probably Cowboys more so. I'm just saying, that tenure, it didn't lead to, the success that they aspire to, of what they wanted it to develop into. But,
Cowboy Nation thinks they're winning a title every year. I mean, give me a break, bro. That's the most delusional fan base I have ever seen in my life is the Cowboy Nation. I mean, it's so overrated. I thought he did an all right job. So I'm just saying, now that you have this guy here, I don't know if I want a young guy at this moment. I think I want a veteran that's kind of been through all of this and has seen different teams and built through different teams and different players and different eras. I kind of like the McCarthy idea now even more than I did last week.
See, I like that type of guy for when you're ready to compete, not not to get you through some rough years of the early part of a rebuild with a young roster. And I don't know how willing he would be to take on that type of role.
He will. He will. He will. He doesn't have people lined up to sign him up. Plus, he's going to have familiarity with somebody that knows him.
Yeah, there's the Sullivan connection now for sure with Green Bay, but also like Green Bay's defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley is going to be a hot coaching candidate this cycle, and so there's a slam dunk connection right there. Even Anthony Campanelli, who was the linebackers coach here, I think is a tremendous leader of men. Like everyone got to see it when he had that Hard Knocks moment, that speech he gave in front of the whole team. After the Dolphins in 2023, when Vic Fangio left, then he went and joined the Packers as linebackers coach, and then had a great year there. Got the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive coordinator job, and has got the Jaguars defense forcing all these turnovers, playing to this level where they are the AFC South champs, number 3 seed in the AFC playoffs, about to play this weekend. So Anthony Campanelli, I don't know if he can that quickly get into the head coaching ranks after 1 year at the coordinator level, especially on the defensive side. But he also had a year in Green Bay, so there's a connection there with someone who was previously a longtime Dolphins assistant. Could he be like the next guy, like Ben Johnson, a Zach Taylor, all these coaches that have held these Dolphins assistant jobs, and then they go on to become, head coaches and find success with other organizations. Dan Campbell, of course. Could he be? There's a connection there, and maybe he could be another one of those success stories. Although it might be a little quick for him to get into the head coaching ranks this cycle, but there's going to be a lot of options. Even internally now, Anthony Weaver. You had mentioned so often. Do the Dolphins have the better head coach already in the building over McDaniel? And then he's a guy that's already being interviewed for 3 different roles as a head coach this cycle. He already had 4 other interviews between the previous 2 seasons, doubling up with the Falcons now because they just reopened after he also interviewed with them in 24. But you have him right there. So
that's right. I think Harbaugh either goes to the Giants or the Falcons. I think those.
You got a young quarterback already in place there, right? You don't have to deal with go through this season with the dead cap of Tua, and plus, if it's Sullivan. Maybe another Packers connection is at quarterback. Maybe he is the one to bring in Malik Willis. So as he's going to be a hot commodity at quarterback.
He barely played and got injured. Yeah. No thanks. I'm not paying that kid $30 million.
But it's John Eric Sullivan.
That's fine. That might be the first disagreement I'll have with John Eric Sullivan then. How about that? I can already foreshadow that one. If that's going to happen, I can already tell you I'm not paying Malik Willis $30 million. The kid barely played. And he had a couple of nice moments. He barely played and he got injured. And he's a running quarterback. So, no, dude, I don't mind the guy that can run, but I want you to be able to make a living from the pocket. And then you only run when you have to run. But if I need you to run because I have to play design you in order for you to be an effective quarterback, I'm not comfortable with those kind of quarterbacks because eventually they will get injured in this league. So I need the guy like Mahomes. I need the guy like Jaden Daniels. I need the guy that can move, but in a game where the ends are fantastic and they're keeping you in check, okay, you need to burn them from the pocket. And you got to make a living there. And that's where, the Lamar Jacksons and the Jalen Hurts of the world and all those kind of guys cannot stay in the pocket 24/7 because they will die. You know what I mean? So I have a problem with that. And I think Malik Willis is that kind of guy that he's going to need his legs in order to be effective. I don't mind if you use your legs, but I don't want you to rely on your legs. That's dangerous.
Yeah, of course. Be selective in when you seek contact. I think you need mobility in this day and age where you need the quarterback to do more than just stand in the pocket. You can still have success that way, but it's just easier to play the whole game on offense if you have that at your disposal as well. But, of course, not putting yourself at risk, definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. So what's your guess at head coach? Did he freeze?
Boy, I mean, yeah. Now this will just get started. You got me?
Yeah, I got you now. But give me a guess. What's the one name? Don't give me 5 of them. Give me the one name that you want for him. Who is it?
Okay, that I want. Boy, that I want. I'd love for it to be Anthony Campanelli. Shit. I love covering him here. I don't know if he's ready for that. If I had to guess, like the leader in the clubhouse that I would
you're gonna do. You remember, you're gonna do a lot of. You're gonna do a lot of losing.
I'm gonna give you one that you want. All right, if you want one that I want, that's who I want. But that might be for selfish reasons because I like the guy, enjoyed covering him. Maybe best for the organization at this stage would be. If you already got now Sullivan as your GM, it might be Hafley coming from Green Bay as well. Yeah, I mean Harbaugh would be the best one, of course. But then I don't know how realistic that would be. So
Harbaugh's dead. That one's done. Harbaugh's done. You can forget about that one. You went Sullivan. That's it. It's over. You know what I mean? The other guy is going to go with Harbaugh. Wherever Harbaugh is going, that's where that guy's going to go. And I really believe it's the Giants or Atlanta. I really believe.
Well, see, the Giants are retaining their GM.
I was thinking Tennessee, but that wacky ass woman, I don't know, dude. I mean, she got rid of Vrabel, so she must be weird, bro. You know what I mean? How do you get rid of Mike Vrabel? How do you
now? What's the other situation where you could have a fresh coach GM combination is in Atlanta, where that's the other team where you have your young quarterback in place, a lot of offensive weapons. So you could get your John Harbaugh, Chad Alexander GM coach combination in Atlanta, where the Falcons also are now the only team with a GM opening, as they were with the Dolphins. The Giants still have Joe Shane there as their GM. Now,
I think if they would settle for Harbaugh and they want Harbaugh, they'll tell Joe, hey, it's been nice. We appreciate you. We're going to give you a job as a consultant, but we're going to bring in Alexander because we want Harbaugh. So if they want Harbaugh, they'll accommodate. But that's why Atlanta, I think, becomes a very sexy destination. And by the way, easy division too. It's not like a brutal division too.
Oh yeah.
So that helps Harbaugh too. He looks at it and goes, okay, if he comes to Miami, he has to deal with New England and Buffalo.
He has to deal with Drake May and Josh Allen, and then maybe either Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore with the Jets.
Right. Well, according to Todd McShay, Dante Moore's people are like, well, we might go back to college and make some money. We don't want to be a New York Jet, So I don't know if you saw that story.
Wow.
Yeah. Todd McShay is reporting that the Moore camp is like, we don't want to be a Jet, anything but a Jet. And so if Mendoza goes 1 and they're going to go 2, they kind of want to go back to Oregon. And, you can make so much money now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
but they view the Raiders as that prestigious of an organization. I understand back in the day, but
maybe the whole Tom Brady bullshit. Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? I don't know what.
No, that's fair for sure.
Maybe, but the Jets are the Jets, and so it is what it is. What are you going to do? But that's a crazy story if there's any truth to that. That the Moore camp is already like, no, we don't want to be a Jet, because I think the Mendoza kid will be the number 1 pick. Mm-hmm. He's just mentally so well put, and then physically he can do everything you need in the NFL level. He's just not elite at anything, but he's really good at everything, and so that's you can't.
We get to see them go at it tonight.
Yeah. I'm rooting for the Cuban kid, but dude, my gut tells me Oregon. I don't know why.
Like Indiana's just due, right? Indiana's just due for one, and they beat them the first time. It's hard to beat the same team twice when you're both highly competitive contending teams.
Yeah,
like Georgia, Ole Miss, that happened.
Can I give you something else? Can I give you some? If Moore wants to convince people he's number 1 tonight, there's a lot more on the line.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yes. So if you want to put on a show, you got to put on a show tonight against the other guy that's going to take your draft spot. So if you want to be number one, you need to show up Mendoza. You know what I mean? And so same thing for Mendoza. He's got to kind of, continue to prove the doubters wrong that he belongs there. So there's a lot of great storylines, and especially whichever team advances.
Yes.
My God, the storylines for that is going to be great too, because Miami.
It's great to be a sports writer covering college football because, I mean, you either got Fernando Mendoza coming home to play the Hurricanes in the national championship game or Mario Cristobal against Oregon. So you couldn't ask for anything better.
You couldn't ask for anything better except having Adam Luchtenstein on your beat.
Well, yeah, okay. we already got it.
That's what I'm saying. All of you should be sending gifts to Adam Luchtenstein, okay? He's the reason why the Canes are where they're at. And when he's on the beat, they're going all the way. So, in fact, Furones is going to try to get him on the beat for the Dolphins for next year.
So let's have him complete his job. Let's have him complete his duties here with the Canes. And then, then get me some national NFL job. So that I can move on, and then let's let Adam Lichtenstein cover the Dolphins after that, so then the Dolphins can rise to prominence. How about that?
Okay, but let him assist you during the draft at least, so we can get some luck during the draft. We need the Lichtenstein luck in with the Dolphins. He's just giving it all to the Canes right now, bro. I mean, he said it's we got to share. Sharing is caring. Tell Lichtenstein that sharing is caring. Okay. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Catch his exceptional work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a great weekend. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. There you go. And, of course, Welton Rayom. We love talking about Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. The consultation is always free. So if something happens to you, you're dealing with property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, bankruptcy, and this can happen to any of us at any moment. Save this number. You may not need them now, but you might need them down the line. Save it on the cell phone, 954-966-4646. You could also go to the website, wrflalaw.com. Give Jeff and Dan a call. They have their own adjusters. So if you have any damage to your property, they send the adjusters, they assess the damage, and then they call the insurance company. You never have to deal with the insurance company. It's a beautiful thing. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome back. We are here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. They've got the customer appreciation sales event going on right now, folks. 2026 Integra, $239 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. 2025 ADX, $239 a month, 1.9% financing. Come on out here, check out the vehicles, check out the selection. It's a beautiful lot. They've got a great service center, so if you own or lease an Acura, great place to get it serviced. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber do great work. They got a cafeteria there. Get yourself a little pastelito, something to drink, un cafecito. They've got complimentary water. They got a refrigerator on the far left corner. You can get it there. Place where you can relax, watch TV, do some work while you get your oil change, tires rotated, whatever it is, filters change, whatever it is you do to maintain your Acura vehicle. Come on out. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber will take care of you here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Let's see. Incognita says, really logical point. Mike as a coach would be good for helping the GM navigate through all the nonsense. I kind of like it. Oscar says, Big O, I think coach of the year should go to more of the Saints. He got 6 wins with absolutely no talent. The running back was hurt all year. Better head coach than McDaniel. Always been an good O coordinator. I have no problem giving McDonald the is it McDonald, the guy in what is it, Seattle, he said? The Saints. Oh, wait a minute. More. I'm thinking, you know why I was thinking Seattle? Seattle's the guy that deserves it. More from the Saints. He did good, but I'm not going for coach of the year. The guy in Seattle, I don't have a problem giving it to Shanahan with all the injuries he had. I mean, his best player is not even on the field in Fred Warner. It's crazy. Richard Cartwright, Big O, didn't Sullivan's father work for the Dolphins? Yes, Jerry Sullivan, excellent coach. Love Jerry Sullivan, one of the better wide receiver coaches we have ever had here for the Miami Dolphins. Excellent assistant. Knows his football, knows his shit. I know Jerry Sullivan. What else do we have? Andy Brown, I'm hoping for Harbaugh. That's over, dude. But what I don't want is another damn first-time head coach. It's just another learning curve and wasting more time. That's why, because of the cap situation for the next 2 years, that's why I want a guy like Mike McCarthy here. And even before you hire John Eric Sullivan. So we'll see. We'll see if he goes with a young guy that can weather the storm early on. We'll find out. James Vivinetti says he's not a fan of McCarthy. There are better coaches out there. Okay. I can understand that. Let's see what else. Jason Flynn says, don't let this negative ass dude talk you into no shit, bro. Yeah, dude. Don't let him do that. Let's see. Willis stands in the pocket just fine. Yeah, he's got to run. Yeah, and he's also small. Also, very good point there, Eric. What else on the chat board? Reggie Baptist is calling it the Green Bay Dolphins. Matt LaFleur could be their future coach. Yeah, if they fire him, there's some talk about that. Holt, you are correct. Let's see. If it's not Harbaugh or LaFleur, it's cooked. They better tank for Arch, says Howard. Oh, man. Dolphins are too far from the Jets in the dysfunction department. They're all the same. Jets, Dolphins, Browns. The Browns want to hire Mike McDaniel, or they're interested. So the Dolphins hire Mike Tannenbaum after the Jets fire him. The Jets hire Adam Gase after Miami fires him. And now the Browns are interested in Mike McDaniel after Miami fires him. There's a reason why bad franchises are bad franchises. So let's just hope that Mr. Sullivan is the start of something good. Let's just hope. Dolphin Dave says, when I see it, I will believe it. We will beam down this road for 45 years, but I like the hiring. Hey, look, the hiring is really important. Why? It's a completely new change. And you get rid of Mike McDaniel. A GM now gets to hire his coach. Will he do the right thing? I don't know. But at least you're putting it together and giving it a chance to grow the right way. So that's what I would say. Let's see. Houseman TV. Oh, if the Canes win the national title, does that put Mario in the top tier of Canes coaches all time? Not yet, because it's just one title. So he matches Howard Schnellenberger. He matches Jimmy Johnson. He doesn't match Dennis Erickson. You know what I mean? He matches Larry Coker. So once he has to win another one to then kind of put himself in separate company. So, yeah. Hey, listen, Mario has the chance to become the greatest coach of all time. Yeah, it's really simple. And I know some of you are going, oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on a second. We were questioning this guy on game day, and all of a sudden you're going to say he can be the greatest coach of all time. Yeah, he can. Because if he can win a national title now, and he has a chance to win another one, that'll be matching Dennis Erickson. It'll be the max, right? But here's the best part about it. This is not a guy that won a national title to then go to the pros. This is a guy that is going to be a lifer. So his idea is not what Howard Schnellenberger wanted to do. Howard Schnellenberger wanted to go to USFL. Jimmy Johnson wanted to go to the pros. Butch Davis wanted to go to the pros. Dennis Erickson wanted to go to the pros. This guy wants to be a lifer. So if he wants to be here 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, which he can, he will easily become the greatest coach of all time because he will win more games than everybody else by miles. And if he recruits the way he recruits, and looks like he's got the right staff finally, he's got a shot at the title, and if he wins it, he's off and running. So Mario Cristobal can go from the guy you kind of were worried about. You love everything he does, dude, except game days. What the hell is going on? And if he fixes that, which looks like he's, kind of stepped back and let Dawson kind of do his thing, Mario can go from, easily one of the good Canes coaches to the best Canes coach ever. Lifer, man. We've never had a lifer at all. Let's see, what else do we have? And Jerry Sullivan is from Miami. Didn't he go to high school in Miami? I think he did. Not sure now. Jerry Sullivan, the dad. I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure, Lenny. You might be right, my man. You might be right. Let's see. Jimmy Haslam is not trying to win in Cleveland. Well, Jimmy Haslam is an idiot. That's all it is. He's trying to win, but he just doesn't know how. Nyborg says, I'm just glad Stephen Loss hired an actual human being as the GM. Was sure Stephen Loss was going to put an AI route. Yeah. Let's see. Anthony says, Big O, I'm upset that Acura can't put you inside to do the show. Oh, it's not a good thing to put me inside. I'm loud. So, it's kind of, you're in the showroom and you're talking and, it's, I freak the people out in Subaru. I freak the people out at Toyota. And that's a big place. I freak the people out at Hialeah Park. So when you put me inside, it's, it's hard to put a Cuban inside because you're going to hear him from one end of the building to the other, So if you're trying to have a phone call, it's going to be hard, or a conversation. Yes, sir.
Jerry Sullivan was born in Miami.
Okay.
So more than likely, it doesn't go into where he went to school. Sorry.
Okay.
But his college
Oh. The Gators?
Nope.
The Seminoles?
Yep.
Wow. Jerry was a Seminole. Okay. All right. Very good. Nice job by you, Lenny Pena. Nice job by you, sir. Eddie Lev says, for me, it's Schnellenberger. He built it. The others hopped on what was already built. Right. I have no problem with that. I'm good with that. Let's see. Oscar says, I'm wrong with my info from the building on the GM, and we still have a chance to get Harbaugh. Please don't tell me how you predicted the Dolphins were going to suck. Well, I did predict that they were going to suck, and they did suck, and you have no shot at Harbaugh. Oscar, if you'd like, I'll be here for a little while more. You can come on over, and we can bet a couple $100 if you want. You know what I mean? Or $1,000 if you want. I'd love to take your money, my brother. So if you want to come on over, I'll take your money. I have no problem with that. You have no shot at Harbaugh. You never had a shot at Harbaugh. But hey, man, it is what it is. Big O, what's your opinion on SAS Week? Ass insults towards Tua. What's SAS Week? What's SAS Week? Your opinion on SAS weak ass insults towards Tua. Oh, I don't listen to Stephen A. Smith, dude. I barely watch ESPN, to be quite honest. I'll watch it for a game. I don't watch Sports Center. Unless there's like some breaking news, and I'll put it on for a second. But I barely watch ESPN. Barely watch. So, and I definitely would never watch Screamin' A. I have no interest in any of that. I'm different. If I don't really have any interest in the person or don't like them, I'm actually not going to watch or listen to them. It's kind of a weird thing, a weird dynamic that we have in this world where you actually dislike somebody, but you're still going to watch them or listen to them. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I have no interest in Screamin' A. I think he's a fucking clown. That's all. So good for him. He makes a ton of money, but I think he's a fucking clown. Okay? Yeah.
Pete Thamel.
Yes.
Per an ESPN source, former Arizona State QB Sam Levitt is headed to Miami on a visit later today.
Ooh.
He's been to Kentucky, LSU, and Tennessee already. Hurricanes are up next.
Wow. Sam Levitt. It's up to you, kid. Maybe Jeremiah Smith is going to come too. So there we go. Yep. Yep. What else do we have? You guys still got local government before sports and politics? I don't know what that means. Thanks, Big O. I also have a bunch of info on some good useless info in my noggin. There we go. I'm big on that one. What else? We already know how you predicted that because we got the bank transaction with the lawyer right now. There you go. Where is the easiest place to start crypto? I would go to Cash App or swan.com. Swan, I think the first 10,000 is fee free. So that's good. And then I would get a cold storage wallet. So you can move your Bitcoin over to your cold storage wallet. Never keep it on any of the, whether if you buy it on crypto.com or Binance or Cash App or Swan or whatever, never keep your Bitcoin there. So that's what I would do. Okay. So that's what I would do. But make sure you have a cold storage wallet also. Tangem is a really good one for beginners. Very good. Very, very good. What else do we have? Tua is gone an NFL deadline, or just have him there? He'll be gone officially on June 1st. They'll have that cut for him. But he's history, dude. He's history. Jeff in Long Island says Stephen A. Smith might be the next president. Had a good agreement with Bill O'Reilly on News Nation. Well, I don't know. Whatever, bro. Listen, I don't care what clown they put up next. You know what I'm saying? It's called a political pendulum, is what I call it. We go Bush Jr. for 8 years. Then we swing over to Obama for 8 years. Then we swing over to Trump for 4. Then we swing over to Biden for 4. Now we swung back over to Trump for 4. And now we'll swing over for 4 years to probably Gavin Newsom, that loser. But either way, they're all losers. And they're all overprinting and burying us, so I don't really care, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? Both parties just put out the worst candidates possible, and all they do is create more and more problems for us. So it doesn't matter to me, dude. I can't stand either party, can't stand anything that has to do with politics. I kill it all because it's all disgusting. It just is. And we're the ones that lose every single time, and we will always lose. Jaybird is in the house. Where is all the media hype about Joe, the great SEC, has been shut out of the championship 3 years in a row? Yep. Oh, when are we getting the nugget that McDummy is gone? Soon. Soon. You got to give me a little time. There's a right time and a right place to drop a fun bomb. Anyway, so there you go. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you, sir, for your generosity as always on Venmo. He says, visited the website for the first time. What does 305 stand for on the shirts? I get the Big O part. Is the area code? Yes. On the head coach, don't care, just win, baby. Well, we'll see. Let's hope they do win and get it done. Let's hope so. But yes, 305 because, Miami, all that kind of stuff. So, yes, that's probably why. And thank you for searching the merch. Appreciate it. I don't even promote it much, but it's there. And we appreciate it. And by the way, on the links here on YouTube, you can also see the link to our merchandise shop. And you can support the show there on the merchandise shop, which is a beautiful thing. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco, custom printing and embroidery, 786-618-1443. Canes defeat Ole Miss 31-27. They advance to the national championship game. They await the winner of Oregon and Indiana tonight at 7:30. Indiana favored by 3.5. The over and under is 48.5. Oregon plus 150 on the money line. Indiana minus 180. The championship game will take place Monday, January 19th. Miami will await the winner, and we will have a lot of fun. Miami last night, 11 of 19 on third down. Absolutely amazing. Keelan Marion, 7 receptions, 114 yards and a touchdown. And Mark Fletcher, 22 rushes, 133 yards. Miami is 13-2 on the season. Last night on the ice, Panthers lost again, man. They're 2-5 in their last 7 games. They are struggling right now. They're struggling. Canadians whooped them up 6-2. Saturday, they're in Ottawa at 7 o'clock. The Heat and Bulls postponed due to rain. Yeah, rain inside the arena. Because apparently the roof at the whatever it's called, Chicago Center or whatever, I don't know what the hell it's called, that stupid place. But apparently they need a roofer over there because it was raining, and it was raining so hard that it rained right through the roof and onto the court. So too much moisture on the court, and they couldn't play, so they postponed it. Saturday, they're at Indiana at 7 o'clock. Fort Lauderdale United will enjoy their time off till January 31st. They will take on Lexington SC, at 7:30 at Beyond Bankcard Field. You can get your tickets at ftlutd.com. All right. We shall see you there, of course. Fort Lauderdale United. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right, coño. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O, maybe we'll see a Super Bowl again in our lifetime. There's some hope. Well, you'll see one in the stadium, but I don't know if it will be us. We'll see. We just got to hope that this John Eric Sullivan gentleman can figure stuff out. That's all, man. That's all we got to do is hope that he can figure it out, because the good thing is the way you were going to have the mess built, it wasn't going to work out. If you're going to do the human Jenga with the 3 San Fran guys and McDaniel, that was going to be a failure. If you bring Harbaugh, you got a chance to succeed. And I think if you add your own GM and let that GM hire his own coach and then also, redesign the scouting staff and all that, I think you have a chance. What you didn't have a chance was at doing the initial stuff and coming back with Mike McDaniel. So I will give them credit that they started off making no sense, and at least they pivoted to something that made sense. And I'm grateful for that as a Dolphins fan. So it is what it is. What else did I want to talk about on the show? And by the way, that's the other thing, that Stephen Ross may have gotten this right. This is the crazy part. After everything that's gone on, and Stephen Ross has made one mistake after another for 16 years, he got this right to this extent. He didn't do the whole human Jenga thing. He went and hired a general manager, and now that general manager is going to put on his own head coach search. To me, that at least gives him a chance to succeed. Will it work? I have no idea. But at least on the structure side of it, you went about it the right way. Instead of firing one guy and keeping the others and then putting them together and all that. And, that's a bunch of garbage. You can't do that. You just can't do that. So in the end, whether you failed with Harbaugh, which they failed with Harbaugh, obviously, I think in this situation, Stephen Ross did the right thing. And that's something that we can't say ever with Stephen Ross. For 16 years, we rarely can say Stephen Ross did the right thing. Usually we sit here and scratch our heads and go, he extended McDaniel? He extended Philbin? What? Huh? He's keeping this Parcells clown show around? Just all one after another. And I have to say, he finally did something that makes sense. And if you're going to redo everything, scouting staff, new coach, new GM, that gives you a chance. That gives you a chance. So I commend him. Okay. And it's hard for me to give that man any kind of credit because he's been such a resounding failure for 16 years. He is a pathetic failure. That's what he is. He's still a failure. Until he builds a perennial winner here, he's not successful. But at least you did this one right. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Jay Bird, I don't know if I'll be able to make it to Margaritaville. I have tickets to Kansas tonight. So, I got backstage and everything. I know the band. I every time they come to town, I go see Kansas and I go backstage, and I'm really sorry I can't see Mason tonight. So there we go. I'm sorry. I will catch him on the next performance. Send me some videos of Mason jamming tonight. The Mason Pace Band tonight at Margaritaville. And Mason Pace, by the way, is the gentleman that sings our open. But I cannot leave my Kansas mates hanging, because I always go to see them every time they come to town. So they're good people, and they're good to me. What else do we have? I should take you one day to one of those Kansas concerts, Jay. Since you take me, I should take you to a concert. The next time Kansas comes, remind me. I'm taking you, Jay. Okay? All right? Yes, sir. Why? What happened? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I don't care. It's not like they really contribute anything. So it's not like if they're just doing stupid stuff and just clouding up the chat board, then yeah, get rid of them. You know me, I don't care. I'm not worried about that. I want the people that want to join us and be supportive and all that. People that are just want to be a nuisance. We have no use for that, and we will discard, as they say. All right, what else do I have going on in the world of sports? Let's see. Funny thing is, it took the firing of Harbaugh for Stephen Ross to do the right thing. It forced him to fire McDaniel, thinking Harbaugh was going to be available and forcing his hand to hire Sullivan. That, and I got to tell you, there's a part of me that says some of these interviewers didn't have the glorious things to say about Mike McDaniel. I mean, listen, if you're going to go for a job and you want to be the general manager, the worst thing you do is lie about somebody that you're going to work with, because you have to say, well, listen, guys, I really want this job. I really want to work for you all, and I think I can do a great job, but I don't know about Mike McDaniel. Look, this, and this. And you start making a case for why he hasn't been a good coach over 4 years and how he could have done, which, by the way, he could have done much more and maximized and won more. That is 100%. So I wonder if all of that, and then Harbaugh, and he's like, man, what am I doing? So I wonder about that. Yes.
And also with the quote unquote Troy Aikman influence now too.
Yeah.
I wonder if that, because
maybe.
Again, this doesn't feel, everybody else has been around Ross all this time.
Yes.
And we've seen the decisions that were made with that decision-making process. This feels, again, like, I don't know, it's fresh, it's different. It's like maybe he's listening to our boy Troy.
Maybe. Anyway. Let's see. Plus, the ejected player could end up missing the first half. Oh, yes. Yeah. What's his name? I called him Ward yesterday. It's damn it. And I don't know why I confused his last name with Ward. But anyway, the kid is probably going to miss the first half. And you know what? It was targeting Lucas. It was targeting because his helmet was down. He wasn't looking at the defender, and he went right into it. The other one with Malachi was not. I had no problem not calling it targeting. You know why? Because it was more of a collision. It was like a, what's that called? Incidental contact kind of type of thing. And he wasn't aiming at the guy or anything like that. It's just one of those things where they didn't mean to meet up that way. You know, one of those type of deals. Whereas our guy, the optics were all there, dude. You were leading with your helmet, looking down, not even looking at the opponent, because you were already in takeoff mode. You were already in in lunging mode, and you sold yourself out. And once you did that, that's it. It's like a DB when the DB's never looking back and he interferes with the receiver, and he's going to get that call 100% of the time. And it's the easiest call for the referee. Now, if you're both looking back and there's some incidental contact, you kind of get away with it. But every time your back is turned to that ball and you're facing the receiver, you're not looking, you're interfering, you're going to get that call every single time. You know? And by the way, Miami got away with a late hit on the sidelines on the quarterback. That should have been 15 yards. That was part of that streak of one stupid penalty, one stupid play after another. The good thing is that there weren't enough bad calls either way to make a difference in the game. There were mistakes made both sides, but in the end, the only reason it was a game was because of the University of Miami. Nobody else. It should have never been a game. But the boys didn't play a clean game. So it is what it is. Let's see. Big O, you were the first to call out McDaniel. A lot of respect. Well, I don't know about that. It was pretty easy. He's just a bad coach. Big O, do you think Harbaugh is even the answer? Dude, it's not that I think he's the answer. He's the best option right now. And hopefully it'll work, but you needed kind of a football czar here. Somebody to really take over and take all the power away from everybody else in the building. So, I don't know. We'll see. Or Matt LaFleur gets fired, or Tomlin would rather have them. Harbaugh 63. Maybe the game's past his time. What's your thought? Well, tell me, what has Tomlin won? Tomlin doesn't win anything, dude. Anything. There's a lot of rah-rah, a lot of talk, all that. And he barely even ever gets out of the first round. For years. For a long time. Has the game passed Mike Tomlin by? Because he won with Bill Cowher's players early in his career. With Bill Cowher's quarterback. And he has final say. So what's going on with Tomlin? Has the game passed him by? You know what I mean? I don't know. I would take Harbaugh. Definitely. But I don't think he's coming here at all. Because of the situation that Miami is in. It's the cap issues, no quarterback. It's just a little too much. Plus, you already had a coach in place. And then now you had to fire him. And again, optics. I kept telling you guys about all of this. So, Nyborg says, I was disappointed by the drunken mommy bot. The old school XXX bots that were on here a couple of years ago, those were prime. Remember that? That's a hardcore follower right there. Thank you, sir, for your support. Appreciate you immensely, Nyborg. You're a stud. What else? Frankie says, damn, Kosa, taking shots at me and the wrestling podcast. Haters are welcomed. Yes.
Cosa Nostra. I'm putting you on secret probation.
There you go.
Triple secret probation. Talk about my podcast. Be warned.
Let's see what else. I was going to say Frankie got his bachelor's in trology from UF, but that ain't coming nowhere near Kosa's comments. Damn. Big O Screaming A said something I actually agreed with. UM playing SEC, not ACC style ball. Doesn't matter. That's kind of what UM's been about for years, when they used to be able to run the ball all the time. That's kind of when they were good. They dominated the lines of scrimmage, dude. They ran the ball, and they always had backs, and sometimes they had 2 and 3 backs, and they were able to always come at you in waves. That's always been like that. Hell, to go to the Mike McDaniel School of Coaching, I will not let it go ever. Jimmy Johnson, all he had to do was run the ball against Penn State in the Fiesta Bowl. And Jimmy Johnson's stupid ass did a Mike McDaniel. He kept allowing Vinny Testaverde to pass, and he kept allowing Vinny Testaverde to throw interceptions. And Jimmy Johnson's dumbass did not learn from the year before when Vinny Testaverde threw 4 interceptions in the Sugar Bowl. So I guess he just wanted to see if he could throw 5 in the Fiesta. So Jimmy could have played bully ball at that moment. Oh, by the way, Alonzo Highsmith, I want to say, was averaging like 6 yards a carry. He was killing Penn State because they were rushing like 3, had 8 dropping back, flooding the zone. So let's just pass into that. It's some of the dumbest coaching I have ever seen in my life by Jimmy Johnson. Some of the stupidest mother effing coaching I have ever seen in my life. The kind of coaching that you deserve to get smacked right across the head, DiNozzo style. Seriously. Like, how can you be that effing stupid, Jimmy Johnson? Like, you're watching it right there. Alonzo Highsmith dominating. And you had your Mike McDaniel moment, because that's what Mike McDaniel would have done. He would have gotten cute and think that he could win with Vinny Testaverde, the stinking choker. So, yeah, I'll never let that one go. And Jimmy Johnson will not escape my wrath on that one ever, ever, because we had no business. Kind of like yesterday. No business losing to Ole Miss. Kind of like no business losing to SMU and no business losing to Louisville. Same shit. There was no business losing to that Penn State team. That's a national championship that Jimmy Johnson absolutely pissed away. By the way, he would be up there with Dennis Erickson. Dennis Erickson did better with Jimmy's talent than Jimmy did with his own talent. You know what Gnarls Barkley says about that, right? Ain't that some shit? First 3 years of Dennis Erickson's career here in Miami, that's pretty much Jimmy's players. He won two championships. After Dennis's players took over, he never won again. He started getting embarrassed in bowl games. But with Jimmy's players, Dennis was better than Jimmy was. Okay? Chew on that one. Let that shit marinate right there. Let me get to a little music. We love talking music on the show, on the side. Going to Kansas tonight. Anybody going to Kansas tonight, say hi while you're out there. Let's find out who was born on the 9th in the world of music. A.J. McClain from the Backstreet Boys, born in 1978. Sean Paul, 73. Happy birthday to him. Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth. Sadly, we lost him in 2023, born in 67. Dave Matthews, South African-born American singer-songwriter. Never, ever insult the Dave Matthews Band in front of a Dave Matthews fan. Those people are fanatical. It's like a cult. You know, there's other cults out there. Hadaway. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. 1965. Happy birthday to him. Let's see. Who else? Crystal Gale. Oh, don't you make my brown eyes blue. Born in 51. David Johansen. I like it. New York Dolls. Born in 1950. And I always tell everybody, David Johansen, his remake of The Animals, We Got to Get Out of This Place, is a fantastic remake. Okay, The Animals will own it. It's their song. Phenomenal. But if you listen to David Johansen sing, We Got to Get Out of This Place, he does a really good job with it. 1950 to David Johansen. We just lost him in February of last year at the age of 75. Bill Cowsill from the Cowsills, born in 1948. And Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin and the Yardbirds. And Page and Zeppelin, Page and Plant. And was Page part of The Firm? Wasn't sure. Can you look up the band The Firm and tell me who was the band members of The Firm? Because I know Paul Rodgers was the singer, but I don't know why I think Jimmy Page was the guitarist of The Firm. Maybe I'm wrong. It was? Chris Slade. Okay, Tony Franklin. All right, there we go. Kenneth Kelly, born in 1943, from the R&B group The Manhattans. Let's just kiss and say goodbye. Joan Baez, born in 1941. She's so folky. Of course, Woodstock and everything else. All right, there you go. It's a pretty good list of musicians today, man, by the way. Let's go with famous people born on this date. Remember, if I don't give you an age, unfortunately, they have passed away here on this list. Richard Nixon, I am not a crook. The 37th president of the United States, born in 1913. Football Hall of Fame member Bart Starr, born in 1934. Actor, singer. Why just put actor? Bob Denver. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Born in 35, rest in peace. Sportscaster, exceptional sportscaster. Dick Enberg, excellent work by him. Rest in peace, born in 35. Actress Susanna York, born in 1939. Actor J.K. Simmons, dun, 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 dun. Born in 1955. He is 71 today. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays. Here we go. Actor Joey Lauren Adams, born in 68. He's 58. Comedian actor Dean Cole, born in 72. He's 54. Golfer Sergio Garcia, born in 80. He is 46. I hate that guy. I hate Sergio Garcia. I hate Terry Pendleton. I hate Noma Garciaparra. I hate people that take 80,000 years to take a swing. And Sergio Garcia had to fix everything for every swing. It was like watching Terry Pendleton step out of the batter's box to fix every piece of clothing on his body. Or Nomar to tap this, tap that, wing, mop, da, do, da, do, ba, ba. Get the hell in the damn box and swing. Anyway, how are you all doing out there? Nina Dobrev, born in 1989. The actress is 37. Musician Flo Milli, born in 2000. She's 26. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date, sir? Oh, he's cracking knuckles and everything. Holy shit. This must be one hell of a list. He's cleaning up the arms and everything. He's flexing.
I'm going
He's getting a little radioactive. A little radioactive. That's a song from The Firm. All right, go ahead.
Jake Lee is 37. Raquel turns 39.
Jake E. Lee, like the guitarist from Ozzy Osbourne, Badlands?
No E.
Red Cartel Dragon? No? Okay.
No E. Just Jake Lee.
Okay.
Reina Dorado is 31. Ruby Soho, she is 35. Silver King was born on this date in 1968. Todd Grisham, he turns 50. And the great Samantha Irvin, she turns 37 on January 9th, 2000. 26. Don't forget, hit the like button, smash the hell out of that like button, and you can also make a donation to the show. Send in your questions, comments, insults at Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Let's get to music history. You're always wondering what the hell happened today in music history.
Well, we start off in 63, where Charlie Watts left the group Blues Incorporated to join some up-and-coming band called the Rolling Stones. Terrible move by Charlie Watts. He should have stayed with Blues Incorporated. Those guys were headed to bigger and better things. In 65, the Beatles started a 9-week run at number one on the U.S. album charts with Beatles 65. The group's fourth number one, Beatles 65, included 8 of the 14 songs from the Beatles for Sale, and also included I'll Be Back, A Hard Day's Night, and the single I Feel Fine, She's a Woman. In 73, Lou Reed married a cocktail waitress named Betty in New York City. Also, Mick Jagger was refused a Japanese visa on account of a 1969 drug conviction, causing the Rolling Stones to cancel a forthcoming tour. In 76, on this date, Queen was number one in the UK singles charts with Bohemian Rhapsody. The single had a 9-week run on the charts, selling more than 1 million copies by the end of the month. In the United States, the song originally peaked at number 9 in 76, but returned to the charts in 92 after being used in the film Wayne's World. Wayne's World, party on, party on. Reached a new peak of number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song ended up being named the 2018 biographical drama film about Freddie Mercury, starring Rami Malek as Mercury. There you go. Anyway. In 84, on this date, Van Halen released the album 1984. In 88, Whitney Houston scored her 6th consecutive number one in the U.S. with So Emotional. The song became her 6th consecutive number one in the U.S. In 2005, she's all about that brace, that brace. She's all about that brace, that brace. Meghan Trainor released her major label debut title. It featured All About That Bass. So as you know, she does that commercial with Pat Mahomes, All About the Brace. There you go. Okay. And that's what happened today in music history. Let me see if we have any birthdays that weren't on that list. Bobby Z of Prince and the Revolution is 70. That was not on the list. Angie Martinez is 55. And that's it. What else do we have? Joey Lauren Adams is a female, Big O. Oh, my bad, Vivinetti. Radioactive, tracked by the Firm. Great album. Too bad they didn't do more albums. Well, it's kind of like a super band. It's hard for super bands to do a bunch of albums because you got to get them together often, you know. Kosa says, stop being coy and spill the beans on your secret, always claiming you are your own man. Step up your game. Yeah, you're going to really threaten me into doing it. Yeah, I love the child psychology behind the whole thing. Definitely. I'm so nervous. I got to talk about it. By the way, All Year Cooling. We love talking about All Year Cooling. Tommy Smith does exceptional work, same-day service and installs. You know, I've been dealing with All Year Cooling for 20 years practically, and started off with his dad, Tommy Smith Sr. They've been at this for over 52 years now, starting their 53rd year, by the way. You could reach out to them, 888-204-5554. Over 350,000 satisfied customers. Go to allyourcooling.com. You can get a free estimate. And again, they're serving from Homestead all the way to Vero Beach and new location in Naples. So if you need any AC or plumbing, number one AC and plumbing service in Florida is All Year Cooling. Extended warranties, financing available, same-day installations, free repair service, and 7 days a week service. Call our friends at All Year Cooling and Plumbing. Yes, sir.
Shams put this out as breaking news, but I thought it was the Grizzlies are entertaining offers to potentially move two-time All-Star Ja Morant ahead of the trade deadline.
All right. So they're kind of making it like public.
Yeah, I guess now they're making it public. Right. I feel like I've heard that.
Right. But he's been such a moron. He continues to do stupid shit, dude. Like, some of these guys don't really get it. like, okay, let me follow my P's and Q's. Let me be a good citizen. I can get out of here. Because it's probably, I'm sure he wants to get out. And like he's his own worst enemy. There's a part of me, I don't mind doing it for Tyler Hero, but then there's a part of me that says, why? You're going to be an asshole? I'm done with those kind of dudes, you know? And plus, you're the Heat. You need real professionals to be able to handle that kind of an organization. You got to be dedicated. You got to be committed to your teammates, to the game itself. You have to have some discipline. That's the way they play. This is not who this guy is, unfortunately. So it's a shame. It's a shame because the Lord blessed that man with amazing ability to be super special out there on the court. And all he's doing is screwing it up himself. It's really pathetic. I just want the Heat to trade everybody and get as many first-round picks as possible. I think they do that. That's the best way they give themselves a chance to compete. I really do. Down the line, you know. So let's see. What else do we have? Salah and Mr. Ross didn't even go well with Jets owner Woody. Birds of a feather flock together. I don't know why. How is it Jimmy's fault that Testaverde was colorblind and threw? Well, because all you have to do is hand the ball off, dummy. They do call the plays. So if you just, hey, Alonzo Heisman is getting 6 yards a carry. Just hand it off to him. Stop having Vinny. Like, Vinny showed you what he was. And by the way, that whole colorblind shit, that doesn't fly when you win all your games and you only lose the big game. Ty Bless, I'm sorry. How naive are you? I'm sorry. How naive are you? Vinny Testaverde wasn't losing half his games because he was colorblind. He only lost a couple of games because he was a choker. Okay? Can you get me Vinny Testaverde's record with the U? Just, I guess, put it in Wikipedia and then I'll have his, oh no, maybe not. Hurricanes. Maybe not. I don't know if it'll have the record, but he didn't lose many games. So the colorblind shit doesn't fly here, dude. Okay, and I guess, Ty Bless, you're not old enough. You never lived it. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You didn't watch the game. It was clear. It was like Mike McDaniel. It's the same shit as watching the Dolphins against the Green Bay Packers or the Buffalo Bills, and you're watching the Dolphins just punish them with the run, and they stop running all of a sudden. Yes, sir.
So in addition to the Heisman, he won the Davey O'Brien Award, the Maxwell Award, the Sammy Bowell Trophy, the Walter Camp Player of the Year, 26 touchdown passes, passer rating of 165.8 in the 1986 season, led major college football, and then he played in the Fiesta Bowl for the 1986 National Championship. Canes, heavily favored, lost 14-10 in a game in which Testaverde threw 5 interceptions.
Ty Bless is one of those dudes that's like young and, you know, you don't have perspective and you don't really know what the hell you're talking about. And so you throw stuff out there and you pull it out of your ass and you're completely wrong.
And for that year.
And so, you know, all the colorblind shit, bro, he dominated. He made he made the greatest play I've ever seen a UM quarterback ever make. He had an Oklahoma linebacker coming at him, and the man put his hand right on his helmet, stopped him in the middle of his rush, and threw right over him and completed like a 25-yard strike. Testaverde was a sick talent. Okay? He wasn't an average talent. He wasn't a good talent. He was a sick talent. He was a freak. The size, the arm, the mobility. Testaverde was a hell of an athlete, dude. A hell of an athlete. Good dude and everything, but big moment, And by the way, he had that in the pros too. Big moments in the pros. That's his thing. That was his thing. And that was all on Jimmy. Because Jimmy saw it the year before in the Sugar Bowl. And he should have known. Yes, sir.
That year he ended with 9 interceptions, 5 in that game.
There you go. Yeah, but no, he's colorblind. He's colorblind on big moments. Yeah. If you didn't live it, bro, don't talk about it. It's just hard for anybody. If you didn't live something, it's hard. It just you can't come from experience, and you don't get it from some highlight or reading out on a book or something like that. You just don't. I'm sorry. I'd love to tell you you do, but you don't. It is what it is. Mark NorCal says, I'm in the mountains, missed part of the show. Sorry if you discussed this, but do you think Aikman is the main reason the GM process went well? Assuming it went well since you like the GM move. I like how it ended. You need to go back and rewind and listen to the whole thing. And I explain what really happened, how it went from one step to another step to another step, but I commend them that they had some backup plans and that they ended up having to lean on those backup plans, and they ended up doing it the right way anyways. Look, once they fired McDaniel yesterday, we were all off and running to the right direction, because you were going to hire your GM or you were going to hire Harbaugh. So either way, you were going to hire a GM that was going to hire his own coach, which, okay, will it work? I don't know, but it's the right way of doing things. Remember what I was saying about Huizenga? That at least he went and got his czar for everything. And he got out of the way. That's the right way of doing things. So they did that. But you need to listen to what really happened and how, dysfunctional, convoluted, and everything. And then kind of, the way it went out, that they ended up at least going in the right direction when it was all said and done. But you got to listen to it. I explained it thoroughly there, NorCal. What else do we have? Jeremy says Vinny's record was 23-3. Can we give Ty Blast a blind ass? You know what, Jeremy? Now that is a proper blind ass fan alert.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
That is definitely a blind ass fan there. He's colorblind, and that's the reason why he chokes. Opponents in the big least, the colorblind doesn't affect you. The biggest game of the year, all of a sudden I'm colorblind. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah. What else? What else do we have overall? Oh, God. All right, folks. Don't forget, here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, they've always got great deals going on, and this is no different. Larry Schlossberg is right behind me. The 2025 RDX, they still have a few in the lot. You can get it right now here at the #1 volume sales dealership in the United States. Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, $369 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. The 2025 TLX, they'll have a few there, $389 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. They've got a fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles, and they are in amazing shape. Come on out here. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. We thank, of course, David Furones. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto and Tony Stampone, all the great people out here, always making it nice and easy for us. We thank all of you out there. If you donated, if you hit the like button, notification bell, subscribed, whatever it is you did, visit our amazing sponsors. We appreciate it. We will see you on Monday. Thank the Lord. We are off for the weekend. We'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. I've got my weekends back. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Y'all be good. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.